Welcome back, my beautiful sinners, to another majestical and moist video with your boy, the flamboyant, the wonderful, the Lord and Savior, the Savior. Does that make sense? If you're new to the channel, go down below and subscribe for fresh and original content. Not every single day, but most days, boys. And support me by checking out my music on all of the music platforms. Go download it, support it, and become a member today if you want to support me. If you want extra content and great benefits, I would highly recommend it. Now today, boys, I want to talk about, do aliens really exist? Okay, this is the video that I've wanted to talk about for a long time, okay? About aliens, because who doesn't want to discuss aliens, okay? Many people have wondered, Savior, are you an alien? Perhaps I'm just a reptilian walking around, and when I turn off this camera, I just shed my skin and I just moisturize. I crawl up the ceiling and I go hide up in one of those corners and I just cocoon myself in my moisture ball. It's quite high in probability if you ask me, but I'm not gonna reveal myself today, okay? That, you know, taking my special YouTuber 2024 skin reveal, that's coming, so look forward to it, but for that we have to reach 10,000 subscribers. Anyway, I digress. Moisture. Gotta have those moist lips, am I right? For sucking little alien holes. So, today my sinners, that's right, do aliens really exist? Do aliens exist out there? Are aliens real? Can we prove that aliens actually exist? So first of all, let me just tell you my personal experience with aliens, okay? It's probably not aliens, but I want to give you a little bit of a story, okay? So when I was, I don't know, a late teenager or mid-teenager, I don't know, between 15 and 17, okay? I was in my home in Wales, and if you don't know where Wales is, it's pretty much the middle of nowhere. It's the countryside, okay? It's a small country next to England, okay? And anyway, I was outside, it was snowing, okay? It was a winter's evening, just outside, unpacking the car from going somewhere I don't really remember, and then all of a sudden, there was this bright orange light in the sky, okay? It wasn't daytime, it was like dusk time, and we saw these weird, I don't know, objects, and they were, you know, completely glowing with this orange aura, okay? And it wasn't, you know, a man-made object, and you might say, Savior, you're crazy, you've been snorting too much vitamin D again. But no, okay, Sonny Jim, I know what I saw. These things weren't, you know, like something that you normally see. You know, I'm not disputing that it could just be a military, a new type of military aircraft, okay? I saw this orange aura, you know, coming from these weird objects, okay? And they were like little circles, okay? And I know that sounds cliche, but that's just what they were. They were little circles, and yeah, they had no noise whatsoever. Usually, if you hear an aeroplane go over your head, it's loud, okay? Or if you hear a helicopter, the same thing. But this had no noise whatsoever, and it wasn't so high up that you couldn't hear it. It wasn't like a tiny little object. It was big enough to really see and examine, and it just kind of stood still for a while, and then it just, boom, it shot off so fast, no, you know, chemtrails behind it, just completely nothing, just a ball of light, just shooting past, but I don't know what it was, okay? So that's my experience with UFOs. Now, I'm not saying that's an alien, I'm just saying I have seen some weird stuff. So that's my experience with UFOs. Now, like I said, I don't believe they were aliens, so when it comes to the alien issue, if aliens do really exist, and do I think aliens exist, well, my answer is of course they do, okay? Just look around you, okay? We are surrounded by aliens, okay? Our own human body has so many different types of organisms and, you know, individual micro life forms that live within us, okay? Everyone thinks, oh, I'm an individual, I'm just made up of this one being. Well, first of all, Sonny Jim, if you study philosophy, if you study the depths of your ego and you meditate within yourself, you'll realize that you are actually made up of so many different parts, okay? You are just neurons firing at other neurons, making connections, and who you are as a person does exist within personality traits, but as a being, you realize that you're made up of literally everything. As Neil deGrasse Tyson says, we are literally stardust. Now, I don't really like Neil deGrasse Tyson, he's just a science bitch, and he's a sellout, but I digress. What I'm trying to say is, if you look around the Earth, you'll realize that we're surrounded by all kinds of weird creatures. Within us are weird creatures. You know, we are literally made from the universe. We are all carbon-based life form. We all come from stars, exploding stars. We are all made up of the same matter, and let's just dissect what we know about science, okay? Which is pretty much nothing. In fact, recently, new scientific studies have come out. We know about quarks, atoms, particles, electrons, and all of these things, right? We know about all of these different things, but we still don't understand black holes, really. We don't understand dark matter. We don't understand how you can observe a particle and it can be in two places at once. That's the whole, you know, kind of parallel universe idea. And I do believe in multiverses. You know, it's become very mainstream now, but I was a core believer of the multiverse theory way before, you know, Rick and Morty popularized it. And, you know, that show is complete trash now. I don't even know why I have the poster. I digress. So, do alien life exist? Okay, well, let's just think about it logically. First of all, we know that humans have existed in multiple states of civilization. Civilizations come up and they die. They come up and they die. Okay, kind of like stonks, okay? They come and they go down again, okay? And humans have made amazing civilizations. My favorite civilization of all time were the Stoics and the Greeks, because they basically birthed philosophy, and I feel like philosophy is the one true principle and one true core thing that humans need to focus on. Because if everyone studies on philosophy and realizes the importance of philosophy, we can come together as a humanity, think about things logically and deeply before we act on them, and that will basically create a better civilization and society. But, you know, different civilizations have come before and they've been destroyed, like the Mayans, for example. A lot of these civilizations already knew roughly how the solar system worked, which is just absolutely crazy, because later on in history, you know, the next civilization would basically reset and they wouldn't understand and they would just think the world was flat. So what I'm saying is, we have different advances and these different points in history and human history, and we can see that, you know, our intellect and our intelligence of our surroundings grow and develop within the unique kind of circumstances that forms that civilization. If life forms are created, it's not like a steady arc, okay? It's like zigzaggy. It's zigzaggy. They dip, they get destroyed by natural causes, by wars. New civilizations are then created, and they can basically discover new things that previous civilizations didn't know about, and it's all to do with the surroundings and how advanced that civilization becomes. So you can't just say, as a life form is created, it's just a steady arc of progression. It doesn't really work like that. So we only really know, you know, about humans, even though we live with all kinds of alien life on this planet, which most people don't view it as that, but we can create our own alien life because we can breed and interbreed creatures, creating new alien life. There are so many aliens living within us and around us, these insects, these animals, underwater creatures, you know, all these kind of crazy things that you don't really know exist, but they are there. In my view, those are aliens, okay? And the idea of, wow, that's impossible, you know, space is infinite, but that's impossible for there to be another form of life out there. You would have to be pretty stupid, I think, to believe that there isn't such thing as alien life on other planets, okay? You know, it might just be microorganism life, it might just be tiny biology, it might just be tiny microorganisms, but, you know, if the universe is infinite and if it's forever expanding, and if the multiverse theory is correct and there are infinite universes parallel to our own, then of course intelligent life is going to exist, okay? Just by the laws of probability, okay? There's going to be advanced intellectual alien life like humans, and humans really like to believe that they are the most smartest thing and the gift to the universe, and that's why in religions we're always the center of the universe, and, you know, God made everything around us, which is just pure narcissism and just basically our feeble protection, because we are mortal and we know that we are mortal, so we try to make ourselves seem way more important than we actually are. So advanced alien life, okay? yes, I believe that definitely 100% they exist, and probably their civilization is way more advanced, and I hope that one day humans will go interstellar and we won't destroy each other, and we will conquer and explore other planets, we will land on Mars, and we will do all these amazing things, but more likely is we're just going to end up destroying ourselves, and we're never going to get to explore the galaxy because we don't have a pro-human spirit of working together as a species. We do it for, capital gain and all the wrong reasons, which is why it will never work. But that's my hope, is one day that we can actually go and colonize different planets, not for the sake of benefiting our own, narcissistic and base desires, but to actually do something as a collective and actually do something for humanity to help better us and to help spread our knowledge across the universe. So intelligent life, if it does already exist, which I'm sure it does, they might have already done this. They might have already explored the galaxy, and they might have already formed a galactic federation, for example, a galactic collectivist, a galactic collectivist society, which is highly likely, but I don't think humans will be there anytime soon. But it's no doubt in my mind that life can exist. It's really not that unrealistic to think that other life does exist, because you just need a few ingredients like water for there to be life. And if a civilization gets super advanced and creates an AI like we will probably do in the future, that's gonna live on, and who's to say that artificial life isn't a form of sentient life? Because that's what I'm talking about, having consciousness, being aware, having that self-awareness, aware of your ego and your own conscious being. That is what separates higher life forms to lower life forms. And that's another interesting thing to discuss, really, is we have this idea of life not being equal, which is pretty weird if you ask me, because, all of animals are simply just animals. We are simply just creatures. We are just animals, but we believe ourselves to be of higher value just because we can, we are self-aware and we have far superior intellect. But at the end of the day, we are just animals, we are just life. Most humans are still very much trapped in their base biological instincts, and they don't go deep enough within their own psyche to really explore the potential of humanity, and that's what people need to do more, if you ask me. Superior, I'm big brain, I'm super big brain, as you can tell. So, my sinners, I do believe that alien life and superior intellectual alien life definitely exists on other planets, and they might have far more superior, complex societies than we have. They might already have far superior technology which allows them to travel throughout space, or they might, everyone thinks like, oh, aliens, they're gonna be like weird green men, they're gonna be, standing on 2 feet, and they're going to be in little spaceships. Okay, that's just how we are thinking about alien life. That's all that we can really, conceive and perceive of, is that type of life that is similar to us, but actually a completely different alien civilization. They're not going to be making the same kind of technological inventions like we have. They're going to have a whole new way of, interacting with science and with maths and the secrets and the nature of the universe. So I just find it completely baffling to think that a lot of people still think it's impossible that alien life can exist, and especially far more superior alien life to us, because they might be interacting with a universe on a more biological scale. It doesn't mean to say that they haven't unlocked more of the universe and understanding of the universe, because we might only be interacting with the universe in a very small way, because that's all that we can perceive to do as of now with our current intellect. Yes, I do believe alien life does exist. I do think aliens really do exist in other places of the galaxy and the universe. I do think aliens do really exist, in my opinion, and it's just the laws of averages, if you ask me. And I definitely think that advanced alien life does exist, and I hope that one day we get the chance to meet them. But if you think about the infinite universe and how big everything is, it's so unlikely that we're ever going to meet another form of alien life, because even if they are super advanced civilizations and they can travel across the universe and galaxies, the chances of them to actually come into our own solar system and meet us, it's so unlikely. The common folk, what do you call them? The common population, that's what I'm trying to say. Most of them would say alien life does definitely not exist. And we are so caught in this idea of instant gratification. We are now rapidly advancing with technology that we've become so cocky and egotistical, thinking that, oh yes, we understand science now. Because we are living in the present, we think, oh yes, we understand science, we understand the universe, we are so intelligent, we've got all of this amazing technology. But if you just go back a few years ago, we didn't understand, we didn't understand anything, pretty much. If you go back just 30 years ago, we didn't understand pretty much anything about how the universe works. And if you just go throughout history, all of these great scientific discoverers like Sir Isaac Newton, Galileo, all of these people, they would discover things, but then they would be disproved, or they would discover new things as time goes on. So, the fact that we think that we understand how the universe works now is just simply crazy to me. Actually now discovering new things about physics and how the nature of the universe works. So, yes, I definitely believe that there is life on other planets, and we are not the only life, and we have barely scratched the surface with how we interact with the universe and understanding maths and science, and is math related to science? And other life forms may be able to interact with math and science on a whole new level, in a different, unique perspective. So it's just crazy to me that there are so many people out there thinking, oh no, this definitely can't exist, okay? So the approach I take is the same with religion. You can't disprove God, you can't disprove aliens. Therefore, the logical point is to stand in the middle and be agnostic, be open to the belief of anything, because you can't disprove it and you can't prove it, but you can take the scientific data into account, and that's what I do, baby. Anyway, my sinners, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, smash like and subscribe, and, learn about stuff and become a science bitch today. We are pretty destructive and stupid, and everyone seems to think, ooh, humans are so smart, we're the smartest creatures alive. And, that's just, duh.